You felt it. That strange electric moment when a random thought suddenly appears in the real world. A name you haven't heard in years, suddenly spoken by a stranger next to you. A unique phrase from an old book appearing on a billboard moments later. Science calls this confirmation bias, a simple trick of the mind filtering a chaotic world. But what if that's the wrong explanation? What if it's not a glitch in your perception, but a signal from the operating system of reality itself? We are taught to see the universe as a finished story, and we are merely its readers, a solid, objective thing that happens to us. But a few radical minds, from pioneering physicists to consciousness explorers, dared to ask a forbidden question. What if the universe isn't a finished story, but a participatory event, a script being written in real time with our consciousness as the pen? What we are about to explore is not just a new theory about meaningful coincidences. It is a journey into the architecture of a participatory reality. A reality that doesn't just happen to you, but responds through you. Our modern world is built on a simple, comforting idea. The universe is a machine, a vast, intricate clockwork of cause and effect. A billiard ball hits another, and the second one moves. Simple, predictable, and most importantly, separate from us. We believe we are ghosts in this machine, observers looking through a window at an external reality that would exist just fine without us. But this model, as stable as it seems, has a crack that has been growing for over a century. That crack is consciousness. Think of your perception of reality not as a window, but as a user interface. Like the icons on your computer screen. An icon of a blue folder is not actually a blue folder inside your computer. It's a convenient, simplified symbol that allows you to interact with a reality of complex electronics and code that is far too vast to comprehend directly. You don't need to know about the circuits and the voltage to write an email. You just need to click the icon. Cognitive scientist Donald Hoffman suggests our reality operates on the same principle. Evolution, he argues, did not shape us to see the truth. It shaped us to survive. So the space, time, and objects we perceive are not the fundamental reality. They are our species' specific user interface, a set of simplified icons that allow us to navigate existence without being overwhelmed by the true underlying code. This is where the paradigm begins to shatter, because if what we perceive is an interface, then two questions become unavoidable. First, who or what is the user? And second, what happens when the user begins to understand that they can interact with the code behind the icons? This isn't merely philosophical speculation. This is the uncomfortable and profound conclusion reached by some of the giants of 20th century physics. John Wheeler, the physicist who gave us the term black hole, proposed something even more radical: the participatory universe. He argued that we live in a cosmos that is brought into being, in a sense, by the very act of observing it. Wheeler compared it to a game of 20 questions. You try to guess a word. You ask, is it an animal? The other person says, yes. You ask, does it live on land? No. With each question, you narrow down the possibilities until a reality, the word whale, emerges. But Wheeler's chilling insight was this: what if the person answering your questions had no word in mind when the game began? What if the word itself was being created moment by moment by the questions you chose to ask? This is the participatory universe, an unfinished symphony where our attention, our questions, and our measurements are the instruments that force the quantum fog of potentiality to collapse into the concrete experience of reality. Wheeler even coined a phrase for this: it from bit. Every it, every particle, every star, every physical law derives its very existence from bits of information, from the answers to yes or no questions posed by observation. If this is true, then consciousness is not an accidental byproduct of the universe. It is the fundamental engine of its manifestation. We are not ghosts in a machine. We are the co-architects of the cathedral. So if the most advanced physics of our time is only now arriving at this staggering conclusion, is it possible that ancient wisdom knew this all along, but simply used a different language to describe it? The idea of a participatory reality, where mind and cosmos are deeply entangled, isn't a new invention. It's an ancient truth whispering through the ages. Before the universe was seen as a dead machine, it was understood as a living thought. An ancient Hermetic text, the Kybalion, lays down its first principle: the all is mind, the universe is mental. This wasn't a metaphor. It was a functional description of reality, a reality where thoughts, patterns, and archetypes are the fundamental building blocks of existence. This concept echoed through Platonism, which spoke of the anima mundi, the soul of the world, a single living consciousness that contains all things, binding the stars, the stones, and the human psyche into one symbiotic whole. In this view, our individual minds are not isolated islands, but bays and inlets connected to a single, vast cosmic ocean of intelligence. But it was in the 20th century that this ancient intuition found its most powerful modern champions. The psychologist Carl Jung, while charting the depths of the human psyche, discovered strange and meaningful coincidences he called synchronicity. He observed events in the outer world that mirrored, with impossible precision, the inner psychological state of his patients. He saw this not as chance, but as a glimpse into the underlying fabric of reality, a causal connecting principle where psyche and matter were not separate, but two faces of the same coin. This led him to a groundbreaking collaboration with one of the fathers of quantum physics, Wolfgang Pauli. Pauli was haunted by the bizarre nature of the quantum world, where particles seemed to be connected across vast distances, and the observer's choice directly influenced the outcome of experiments. Together, Jung and Pauli theorized that the laws governing the deep psyche and the laws governing deep physics might be one and the same. They were both searching for the hidden order, the invisible architecture that connected everything. Synchronicity, they proposed, was the moment this architecture became visible. It was a flare of meaning, signaling the profound entanglement of our inner world with the outer cosmos. Decades later, the neuroscientist and psychologist Dr. Jacobo Grinberg took this idea from a philosophical principle to an experimental frontier. He refused to accept the separation between the observer and the observed. For Grinberg, consciousness wasn't trapped inside the skull. It was an energy field that the brain learned to interpret. He proposed a radical model he called the syntergic theory. At the heart of his theory is the concept of the lattice, a pre-space structure, a hyper-complex informational matrix that contains the entirety of reality, not just in its physical form, but in all its potential. According to Grinberg, our brain isn't a creator of consciousness, but a highly advanced decoder of it. It processes information from this universal lattice and transforms it into the perceptual reality we experience. A perfectly tuned brain, Grinberg theorized, could achieve a state of neuronal coherence, a perfect resonance with the lattice, allowing it to access information beyond the classical limits of space and time. His work finds an uncanny echo in the theories of biologist Rupert Sheldrake. Sheldrake proposed the existence of morphic fields, invisible organizing fields that carry information and shape the form and behavior of everything from crystals to termite colonies to human societies. These fields, he argues, have a kind of inherent memory. When one member of a species learns a new skill, it becomes slightly easier for every other member of that species to learn it, no matter where they are. This is morphic resonance. Both Grinberg's lattice and Sheldrake's morphic fields point to the same revolutionary idea that information is non-local, that the universe is not a collection of separate things, but a unified, interconnected web of meaning and influence. Synchronicity in this light is no longer a mystery. It is the direct experience of this web. It is a moment when our personal field enters into such perfect resonance with the universal field that the boundary between the two dissolves. It's the universe talking to itself through us. If these ideas resonate with you, consider subscribing so we can continue this journey together. This all seems vast and cosmic, but the interaction with this participatory reality is happening right now, in the small details of your life. Grinberg didn't just propose a theory, he mapped the ways we experience this connection. He identified 5 distinct levels of synchronicity, which we can understand as 5 levels of cosmic dialogue. Recognizing them is the first step to becoming a conscious participant in the creation of your reality. The first level is perceptual synchronicity. This is the most subtle form of dialogue. It happens when your inner state directly influences your perception, making you notice things in your environment that are perfectly aligned with your thoughts. The second law is that of correspondence. This means that your inner world and your outer world are reflections of each other. Think about how after a difficult breakup, you suddenly hear melancholic love songs everywhere. Or when you're feeling a surge of creativity, you start noticing vibrant colors and intricate designs in places you never saw them before. The practice here isn't to change the world, but to ask, what is my inner state trying to show me through what it chooses to highlight in the world. Your perception is a spotlight, and where you aim, it reveals your deepest focus. The second level is attentive synchronicity. This is a more focused interaction. It occurs when you hold a specific desire, question, or intention in your mind, and the universe begins to curate your reality, presenting you with information relevant to that focus. This is the universe responding to a direct query. You decide to learn a new skill, and suddenly you see online ads for courses, overhear conversations about it, and find a book on the topic at a friend's house. It's the universe's search engine in action. The application here is surprisingly simple: clarity of intention. The more focused and clear your question or desire is, the more precise and undeniable the answers that reality reflects back to you will be. The third level is interpersonal synchronicity. This is where the dialogue expands to include other minds. It's the direct, non-local connection between two or more consciousnesses. You think of a friend you haven't spoken to in years, and your phone rings with their name on the screen. You and a loved one miles apart have the same niche idea or feel the same sudden emotion at the same moment. This demonstrates that we are not isolated nodes, but part of a single, interconnected mental network. The practice here is one of empathy and intuition. It's about learning to trust those subtle feelings and thoughts that seem to come from nowhere, recognizing they might be signals from others connected to your personal field. The fourth level is external synchronicity. Here the dialogue becomes a full-blown event. The universe doesn't just present information, it arranges circumstances. This is when the external world reshapes itself to provide a solution or a path. You're lost in a city, worried you'll miss a meeting, and the one person you stop to ask for directions is impossibly heading to the exact same building. You lose your job, and a chance encounter a week later leads to the career you've secretly dreamed of. These events feel like miracles, but in a participatory reality, they are the result of a powerful resonance between your inner state and the informational matrix. The wisdom here is about surrender and trust. It's about releasing rigid control and allowing the flow of life to guide you, recognizing that the universe might have a more elegant solution than you could ever plan. Finally, the fifth and most profound level is complex synchronicity. This is a symphony of meaningful events. It's not a single coincidence, but a chain of them, a sequence of perceptual, attentive, interpersonal, and external synchronicities that, when woven together, lead to a massive life transformation or a profound revelation. It's the universe telling a story, with your life as the main character. Each event, seemingly random on its own, becomes a crucial plot point in a larger narrative that guides you toward a new understanding or a new state of being. The practice here is that of the detective, the mystery hunter. It requires you to hold all the clues, to see the pattern in the chaos, and to have the courage to follow the story to its mind-bending conclusion. We have explored this dialogue, these 5 levels of interaction between our mind and the cosmos. We see synchronicity as a bridge between 2 separate things, the inner world of our thoughts and the outer world of events. But what if that bridge is an illusion? What if there are not 2 separate things to connect in the first place? The physicist David Bohm, a contemporary of Einstein, spent his life developing a radical vision of the universe. He proposed that the reality we experience, what he called the explicate order, is merely a projection, a ripple on the surface of a much deeper, more fundamental reality he called the implicate order. In this implicate order, everything is one. Everything is enfolded into everything else, like a hologram. If you cut a holographic plate in half and shine a laser through it, you don't get half the image. You get the entire image, just at a lower resolution. Every piece of the hologram contains the whole. Bohm believed the universe operates the same way. What we perceive as separate objects, separate people, and separate events in space and time are just unfolds from this deeper, unified, implicate reality. Now apply this to synchronicity. What if a meaningful coincidence is not a miraculous connection between your inner thought and an outer event? What if your thought and the event are not 2 separate things at all? What if they are the exact same underlying pattern in the implicate order, unfolding simultaneously into 2 different domains of the explicate order, the domain we call mind and the domain we call matter? It's not that your thought caused the event. It's not that the universe sent you a sign. It's that the you who had the thought and the universe that produced the event are, at the deepest level of reality, indivisible. The synchronicity isn't the message. It's the moment you catch a glimpse of the single unified mechanism that is writing both the story of your mind and the story of the world. This completely reframes our role in the cosmos. We are no longer just participants, we are portals. Each conscious mind is a point through which the implicate order unfolds into explicate reality. The ancient Hermetic axiom, as above, so below, suddenly takes on a stunningly precise physical meaning. As within, so without is not a spiritual metaphor. It's a description of holographic physics. Think about it. In a hologram, every fragment contains the whole, but the clarity and perspective of the final image depend on the angle and quality of the light you shine through it. Our consciousness is that light. A mind clouded by fear, distraction, or rigid belief will project a reality that seems fragmented, chaotic, and meaningless. It's shining a poor quality light through the holographic plate, producing a distorted image. But a mind cultivated through coherence, attention, and deep self-awareness becomes like a laser, pure, focused, and powerful. It illuminates the unfolded patterns within the implicate order with such clarity that the resulting projection, our experienced reality, appears ordered, meaningful, and harmonious. It reveals the elegant symphony hidden within the noise. This is the final boss in the game of Know Thyself, because if this model is true, then the reality you are experiencing right now is not an objective, external fact. It is the most accurate possible reflection of your own state of consciousness. The world isn't happening to you. The world is a holographic printout of you. So the most profound question you can ever ask is not, what is the meaning of life, but from what level of my own consciousness am I currently projecting my universe? So, what do we do with this? If the universe is a participatory hologram and our consciousness is the projector, then the game of life fundamentally changes. We are no longer victims of circumstance, passively waiting for the world to happen to us. We are, whether we know it or not, active co-authors of the story. And this realization comes with a profound, almost terrifying responsibility. Suddenly, every state of mind matters. Every thought, every feeling, every deep-seated belief is not a private, internal experience. It is an act of creation. It is a broadcast into the implicate order, a vote cast for the kind of reality that will unfold. This is the ethical challenge for eternity. Living in a participatory universe means there is no neutral ground. Apathy is a creative act. Fear is a creative act. Despair is a creative act. They are all instructions that shape the holographic projection. This transforms the ancient spiritual mandate to heal thyself from an act of self-improvement into a cosmic imperative. The work of clearing your own inner world, of facing your shadows, of resolving your traumas, of cultivating compassion, is no longer just for your own benefit. It is an act of service to the entire collective reality. By raising your own coherence, you provide a clearer, more harmonious pattern for the whole to unfold through. A healed mind projects a healed world. This also means we must learn to see life not as a series of problems to be solved, but as a series of signals to be decoded. The difficult person in your life, the recurring obstacle, the frustrating situation, in the old paradigm, they are external annoyances. In the holographic paradigm, they are pieces of your own consciousness being projected outward for you to see. They are not the enemy, they are the curriculum. The universe is using the fabric of reality to show you the contents of your own mind. The ultimate question then becomes, are you willing to read the message? This responsibility extends beyond our inner work. It redefines our relationship with knowledge, information, and the stories we tell ourselves as a culture. If consciousness shapes reality, then the dominant narratives we accept, the stories broadcast by our media, our education, our politics, are not just descriptions of the world. They are powerful spells, collectively casting a certain version of reality into being. A culture obsessed with narratives of conflict, scarcity, and separation is actively projecting a universe that will validate those very beliefs. Funny how the oldest advice in the world is to guard your thoughts, isn't it? We thought it was about mental health. What if it was a warning about cosmic creation? To consciously participate in reality means becoming a gatekeeper of your own mind. It means choosing which stories you allow to take root, which frequencies you choose to amplify, and which questions you ask the universe. Because in a participatory game, the questions we ask are everything. They are the scaffolding upon which reality is built. Asking, why is this happening to me, projects a victim's universe. Asking, What is this situation trying to teach me? Projects a student's universe. Asking, how can I use this as a tool for creation? Projects a creator's universe. The events may be the same, but the reality experienced is entirely different because the relationship to the events has been fundamentally altered. This is the great secret. The power isn't in changing the external events. The power is in changing the nature of your participation with the events. This is not a passive journey of discovery. It is an active, moment-to-moment challenge of ethical and creative choice. So we stand at the edge of a profound mystery. We've journeyed from the strange whispers of synchronicity to the radical architecture of a participatory universe. We've seen how ancient wisdom and quantum physics point to the same incredible conclusion, that the cosmos is not a monologue but a dialogue, and our consciousness is its sacred partner. We are not separate from the reality we observe. We are the portals through which it flows, the very mechanism of its becoming. This understanding doesn't provide easy answers. Instead, it leaves us with the ultimate existential choice. It places us at a fork in the cosmic road, facing a dilemma that defines the very purpose of our existence. Is this participatory universe a grand cosmic test? Is the implicate order a pre-written score, a divine blueprint, and are the synchronicities simply the conductor's cues, guiding us to play our part in a song that has already been composed? A journey of remembering a destiny already written? Or is it something even more profound? Is the universe truly unfinished? Is the implicate order not a fixed blueprint, but an infinite field of pure potential? And is our consciousness the artist, the composer, the architect with the freedom to create something genuinely new? In this version, synchronicity isn't a map showing us the path. It's the universe holding up a mirror, showing us the quality of the art we are creating and asking, is this truly what you wish to manifest? Perhaps the goal is not to solve this dilemma, but to learn to live within its creative tension, to act as if our destiny is written in the stars, while simultaneously taking full responsibility for writing it, to hunt for the patterns, to listen to the echoes, and to trust the meaningful whispers in the chaos. Because in the end, the ultimate mystery is not what the universe is, but what we, through our participation, will choose for it to become. And that's our hunt for now, a wild mix of documented history and tantalizing what-ifs based on bibliographical sources. What do you think? Liked this journey? Hit subscribe for more mysteries.